Hi, everyone. This is Troy. I'm with SBI. That is the Spiritual Bureau of Investigation. And we are conducting our first live interview for the company. And I would like to introduce to you right now my spiritual partner, Dana Ross. She is going to be leading the questions with our uh, true guest, which is Shannon. That's her buddy. So without further ado, I will bring Dana up. Hi, Dana. Can you
Hi.
hear me? Oh,
Yeah.
hello. All right.
Hello. Oh
How
my
you doing?
goodness, it's really happening. Good evening, y'all. I'm Dana. Thanks for joining us on our first broadcast. This is a big dream. I don't know where it's going, but we really just like to take this opportunity to share information and things that we learn. And oh my goodness, this is the first time. So I have a lot of friends, and I'm going to take this opportunity to show you all their gifts and talents because I got some pretty incredible people in my circle, and they're all over the world, and nobody can get together. So this is one bonus of the internet that we do get to join forces, and we do get to spend a little time together, talking about the things we love instead of texting, because otherwise we'll stay up texting between us all night. So we might as well use a camera and a microphone because we're going to talk anyway. um, we like to use this platform of SBI for many things. The mission's not completely clear yet. I haven't. Creating a mission statement of who you are, is a very difficult thing to do, I have to say, and I'm working on that. But I have a friend named Shannon, and is Shannon's mother is my sister's best friend. Shannon has been through a lot, just as I have, and I'm very, very proud of him because I'm an astrological researcher, and I've turned it into a study because I can't quit reading it anyway. So I'm obsessed. And my friend Shannon has a lot of things in his back. Anyway, his story is pretty incredible. We'll go into that at another time. As far as our SBI investigation, because it's a good time. Um,
Mhm.
but Shannon has overcome every obstacle that any person I could. I just can't believe his story. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud to know him. He is Aries on fire, dude. He is a step 22 Aries, for those of you out there who know what I'm talking about. And he's had a pretty rough ride, y'all. And and he has manifested his, twin flame. I'm rambling. Excuse me. I'm thinking so many things, but I want you to meet him. He is a spiritual teacher. I call his work ego boot camp. And you can't feel better until you defeat your ego. And regardless of what journey you use to get rid of it, it does not matter. It's just that you heal and you feel better. So being a 22 Aries, he's the drill sergeant for undoing manipulations, and his work specializes in childhood traumas and how to overcome them. And so I'd like to introduce you to Shannon and his fiance Yanni, and we'd like to talk about healing, and also really the law of attraction, because these two and also my friend Troy are prime examples, and I can't catch up with either one of them. So it's good if we share secrets. And welcome, guys. Nice to see you. We finally did
Hello, Shannon.
it.
Hi
Oh my
there.
goodness. Yay. Oh my goodness. It's actually happening. So
Go.
I'm just gonna jump right in. Shannon, you want to introduce yourself, and then your beautiful woman there?
Yeah, I'm Shannon McComas with CreateHigherVibrations.com, and this is Yanni. She's my
Yes, it is.
twin flame that
Yes, she is.
projects her self love onto me, and then I can flow from that with my self love.
It's the queen and king scenario that you have asked for. Honestly, that's all you wanted, and you
Hmm.
made it happen,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
certain.
it's a very good example of law of attraction.
And
Absolutely.
and you know what? I'm very protective over my family. Trust me. And anyone that I call family is just I fight for the death for you people. And I know what Shannon has been through, and I I don't want anybody else around him. So perfect. I know you have. You got that God glow, girlfriend, and it's a great match. And I couldn't be happier for either one of you. It's great. So, well, congrats.
Yeah.
Good for
Thank,
y'all. Yeah.
thank you.
Um.
I was,
Oh,
hey, I put in some work and I waited
yes,
till
you
I
did.
felt ready. And I started just putting it out there. And
You did, and you put it. No, I mean, loud and proud. You put it out there,
yeah,
and a lot of us are very damaged, and a lot of people suffer in silence. You know, but we've been given the gift of the super information highway. Did I say that correctly? um, and I really believe what you speak is going to happen. Okay, and I mean, look at you. Okay, so I don't know if you know about Troy. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Troy. We met through Christopher's platform. Well, I met his mom first. She just like stood out like the light. You know how you meet those people. You know what I'm talking about. And then I met Troy, and they were all followers of Christopher. And Troy used to drive a truck, like not too long ago, like forever, and couldn't stand it. It's a monotonous, unrewarding job.
right.
And through the law of attraction, he told me he would be sitting right where he is working for. Well, he didn't know he was going to work for Christopher. I added that in the magic spell. But we just decided, all of us together, it's like, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better life. We were not created to suffer, not one of us. I do know that for a fact. And we all suffer. So Troy just put his, we learned a lot about law of attraction, and I am, and make things happen. And if you ask enough, the universe is going to show up for you. And if you show up for yourself, the universe is going to show up for you for sure. So 6 months later, Troy no longer drives a truck, and he works hand in hand with Christopher. And I'm so glad Christopher has him, because Christopher, you gotta take care of Christopher. I love my Christopher. But and Troy now does customer service for Serious Joy. I mean, a year ago, did you see that coming, Troy?
No, but definitely, I would say um, every 6 months, I would definitely manifest something different, like with the Love Fest in West Palm Beach.
Man, what's
You know,
up?
that was one example, like with the Elite 20, like how that message, I had a message come through during the shower one day of the Elite 20, and I just kept on focusing on that. And it turned out that the time when we did have the Love Fest in Florida, there were exactly 20 people that showed up that were in that group. So it was just kind of like a confirmation, and just like having fun with little things, manifesting and law of attracting. But um, there were certain times where I would have visions of like being not. I didn't really have an idea of like where, but I always just felt like if we were all under one roof, like things were going to gel together. And I always kind of had a feeling that my mom was going to work for Serious Joy, and um, I didn't see myself at first, but then it started becoming more apparent, and I just kept on asking for that. Like I remember one day actually specifically when Dana asked, like, what is, one thing that your heart desires, and it was the desire to be working under Christopher and learning from him and being a part of the company, and that's exactly what happened. So that's why I'm very interested, Shannon, with your story, like with your law of attraction story with you and your girl. And I was kind of hoping that you would kind of touch on that, like um, how things unfolded with that, because I mean, she's your twin flame, which is very incredible, because it's not always easy to be in a relationship with your twin flame. We actually have a customer who described living with her twin flame as like living like with sandpaper. It's always rough, but I think that was her personal experience, obviously. But so, if you wouldn't mind, can you kind of give us a little bit of a backstory on that about your guys's your law of attraction?
Well, I think for me, I was coming out of a very dark relationship, a marriage, with a young child, and
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of in the, I went through the whole 2012, main like awakening in that year, but that year for me was just kind of the opening of the eyes a little bit, and more of the changing
Mm-hmm.
of the mind into a different way of thinking type process. I didn't actually start truly probably going deeper into my soul, into the traumas and everything in my soul, until I was hit with the narcissistic relationship. That triggered me into the awakening, what I call it.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a good year and a half after that marriage ended, pretty much finding myself. That relationship with the narcissist taught me what love was not. And I knew that in order for me to find and not repeat that same cycle, I had to find what love was, and I had to start with myself. And
yeah, absolutely.
so basically I started just really diving deep into myself and tackling my self-worth issues, my doubt, my self-esteem, everything that I was seeking from other people. I was wanting validation from other people. I wanted to not do that anymore. So I went inward. I just went inward. I basically one night went onto the corner, fell onto the floor, and said, I'm pissed off. I'm sick of this. It's not going to happen no more. And I'm going to find out why it's happening. And I started then on changing it, and started tackling the ego, started tackling everything that I was projecting out from myself onto other people. All of that stuff. And, and also I was educating. I went deep into the Dhammapada, which is the teachings of the Buddha, about finding myself, understanding the mind and control of the mind, understanding the divine inside of me, where I was full of lack in all of those places. And so I started rebuilding, and it really created a whole new me almost. It was, basically it got down to I wanted to become the love that I was always seeking, I guess, from another. But I decided first I'm going to become that in order to actually go get that.
And you have. You truly have.
And does that tie into like what you're doing now, like with your coaching, like the ego? I mean, so you basically, did you kind of like really like self-taught yourself? Would that be correct? Like from experience?
Pretty much. I mean, obviously I have some people like, I would spend a lot of time on YouTube watching, Wayne Dyer's, and I listen to a lot of motivational stuff. But really,
you rewire your brain once you start just listening to it over and over and over. You start rewiring.
Well, and that was the first thing that I started doing in the whole process was I really in my head made myself aware of when the ego was coming out, especially in that back then when I was dealing with the ex and child drop-offs and different things, because they are very triggering. Those people will trigger you, and they will feed off of you if they can trigger you. And in order to get to that point where that no longer happens, your mindful awareness has to be aware of your ego, because if not, your ego will snap out real fast. And the next thing you know, you're going to be in a emotional warfare that you will not win with that type of person. And it literally, that was the very first thing. I mean, I can remember back then when I would get triggered and I would just start taking breaths, realize it's ego coming out, and I could walk through my house, and from the time I hit the back door to the front door, I was able to be in enough awareness to take the ego away and change the entire way we communicated with each other in that moment.
Right, and changing your thought about it. Also,
Right.
That's exactly what you do. You're changing your thought about it. That's very interesting.
Right.
That's all you can do. There honestly, in our ego fueled manipulation ruled world, you can only live in every second. I swear, you can't exist past that. It's impossible anymore. Do you not agree? It is just so hard. I mean, you can want things and you can manifest things, but like every step you take, you just gotta look around. It's tough,
Right. My thing
so,
is, if you want something, to me, if you sit around and you're just wanting it so bad, you're really not ready for it. I mean, you got to kind of almost let go of the want, and then it'll come. If it's manifested and it's out there and it's waiting to come, and you let it go, it will come.
I've learned I don't know. You guys got it going on with the manifestation business, and I'm almost there. But this is what I have just learned, honestly. So, through the law of attraction, if you say I am such and such and such, say, when you affirmations, I am this, I am that, I am that. But when you tell the universe I am healthy and I am wealthy and this and this and this, to me, for myself, I have found that the universe is like, oh, you're good. You don't need nothing else then. So I started thanking the universe in advance for what I say I am. And I swear it totally is showing up completely different for me.
Yeah.
And it's just, words are magic. I can't express enough how much thoughts, they are magic. I swear. And then, but darker thoughts manifest even faster, as we all know completely. I know we do totally. So I wish we have an opportunity in the future to like create a paywall so you can really tell your story, Shannon, without fear of, and me too, we're not trying to cause waves. We're not trying to do no shock and awe or nothing like that. But to really connect with a person's deep psyche, they got to be able to feel your emotions. And when you tell your story is when people connect with you the most. But most people hear us is we're trying to create a victim statement, and that's not it at all. Period. This is not a victim statement. This is like, we've done our work. We don't want anyone else to hurt anymore. If you want to feel better, hire a coach, people. I'm telling you, let's just get this done. That's my preaching. But Shannon, as a teacher, what do you find gets people can be frustrating, man, because makes us a little arrogant sometimes. It's like you want to shake them and say, why can't you see this? Why can't you see this? And having patience for that is hard, but I try real hard. But what do you find blocks people the most?
What I find that what
blocks people the most?
That blocks them?
Yeah. What do you?
The ego.
Yeah, of course, but give me like
they can't get out of the fact. A lot of people, and I think like for me, whenever I deal with it, I think there's a solution to everything now. And
absolutely.
And with me, how I do anything, I always look at me first. If I feel, and I like one thing that blocks them is they're scared to feel, to understand what they're feeling. Mm-hmm. And when you're doing that, you're really seeking outside of you for that to feel better because you want that feel to go away. But that's one thing that blocks people. A lot of people just don't want to go or accept to find the actual solutions. They want to stay on the train ride for a while and blame.
And blame. Yes.
And and they want everything to not be their fault, which abuse is not someone else's fault. But if you really truly want to get better and healed from it, you have to do that hard work and that scary work, which is all right here.
Yes, sir.
And that's really the blocks that I see with people. With me and coaching, and when I start to work with people, I really pace it because I am very patient. I'm like Superman at patience. And
Agreed.
And I have a lot of compassion.
Yes, you do.
And I allow them. I want them to feel. I want them to feel everything, telling their story, and I just kind of
vomit it out.
But
they need a safe place to vomit out the trash is what they really need.
Right.
And like Troy, you guys totally don't absorb that crap. Either one of you. Excuse my mouth. Sorry. I forgot we were on camera. It's too funny. But Shannon, your biggest wound in your charts, you were to heal from, honestly, like a serious cancer wound. Just saying. So I mean, you're living the story you were born to live. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You totally understand the concept of cancer, and cancer is nothing but feeling. So your mom's cancer. You see how that works? It is a serious wound for you. So that's why I'm so proud of you. When I'm like messaging you and like your little cheerleader, and I'm like, come on, man, do this, and you're like, I don't see it, and I'm like, you can't see what I see. As I can't see myself as other people, but I'm telling you what, this is your job and people need to hire you, and that's all.
We just had that talk earlier because, like with YouTube, I do get a lot of positive stuff on YouTube, like feedback, but there's something about, like, I hate hearing myself talk.
Oh, I can't stand it.
She has a whole nother view of hearing me talk.
Seriously.
Right.
And it's,
what you've always told me, embrace your fear. So this is what we're doing together. Thank you for being here for me. It's a win-win situation. I can't stand this.
I can definitely attest to that about not liking how I hear. Like, I don't like hearing myself recorded. But then Dana will say something like, well, you have the perfect voice to, do this or do that.
And you have it too, Shannon. Yeah, both of you. I mean, see, and I'm not trying to be insulting here. Let's go here. But honestly, in my own experience, I believe we are all recovering Christians. Okay? And not that I hate Christians, because I love Jesus, but we were taught wrong. Okay? And it's so sad because we weren't created to suffer. Okay, so there's a lot of people on planet Earth hurting really bad right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, this is why we had to do this today, because, okay, when Dr. Seuss becomes a racist, we have problems. Okay, don't pick on my dude. Okay, the world's gone to somewhere. So, but when broken people just can barely even get out of bed, they'll go to YouTube and they'll hear voices like y'all, because to me your voices are very soothing. And we're a damaged say the word patriotic, I can't ever say that word, society. So women listen to men. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Women listen to men. And women are searching more than men. All right, it's going to be okay, but it's very hard to find men who can openly speak about their feelings and their experiences. And women aren't heard as well as they should be. So when we work together like this, it's going to create more healing than anything else out there. Okay, we have to work together. Okay, united we stand. We make us stronger. I'm not trying to go all preacher, but we have to have each other help the rest of the world heal. So when you guys tell me you don't like your voices, I think you both have the greatest voices. I've always told you that, Shannon. I remember telling you that. You just got it's that low monotone, hello, let's fix it kind of thing. And I love that. So please don't think it's not, it's worthy. Just saying. Anyway.
Yeah. And that goes back to face your fears. And when you asked about what do I see a lot of where people are blocked, is that's one of the exact things is
Fear.
they fear facing themselves. They fear,
it's rough.
Because the abuse of a narcissist is like, I wouldn't wish that abuse on anyone.
I'd rather be beat up.
So the people that have experienced, I mean, they're the ones that are going to understand it. And, I've experienced it. I know what it's like, but I also know what it's like on the other side. If you are not scared to face yourself.
Yeah. And you have to.
Right. Because
you have to face your ugly.
It's like, the abuse happened, and you don't want to take anything away from anybody and what happened to them. But again, do you want to live in the ego, and do you want to live in that past and have that past be your identity? Or do you want to start changing so that you no longer ever live that way again the rest of your life? Do you want to figure out what it was that got you to that point, that made you go through that abuse, or get you to come into contact with someone capable of that abuse, so that you can move to a higher vibration, a higher frequency, gain self-love? That is one of the biggest things we're in lack of when we meet a person like a narcissist or a sociopathic psychopath. We are in a lack ourselves, and that's why we met them. Law of attraction, like attract like. So there is a vibration there that is matching the same as that person. Doesn't mean you're a narcissist matching a narcissist. You're a low self-esteem that is running on some shame base, meeting a person that is running on the same two things, except their lack of empathy and everything else is the difference. My goal is, a person that went through that misery of a relationship of years, to not waste another day on that, and start realizing and feeling what a life of self-love can bring to you. And when they start growing in that self-love, they start changing their entire world with everybody that's around them. The dysfunctional people start going away, and you start gaining better, heartfelt, conscious people that have nothing but good intentions around you.
That's right. That's right. And there's 8 billion people in the world. You can choose who is around you. You are allowed. The only thing you are allowed on this earth is free will to choose.
Right.
But I think
don't know that.
No, they don't. And we all the people walking on this earth right now are the remnants of the industrialized, the industrializers who came in, who are the baby boomers. And we've been taught a certain way, and it's so damaging. I'm hearing feedback. Anybody hearing feedback?
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe, but it's the way of the world. It's the sheep. Okay. They all act the same. Okay. Not that they don't want to, and I'm not judging, because I'm not trying to be judgmental. But I think the hardest thing for me was understanding that unconditional love says that no matter how much someone hurts you, you have to accept them for who they are. It's not their problem that you can't deal with them. You know, it's if you expect someone to be nice to you who's never nice to you, and you want them to be different, that is not unconditional love. That's also a form of manipulation. And that's holding a mirror to yourself. I'm like, okay, this person is always going to be that person, and they're not ever going to change. So trying to find some way to deal with unconditional love and deal with someone who you just cannot get along with is so hard, and it makes two wrongs never make a right, ever. Okay. A negative and a negative, that's a bomb. It's not cool. So I believe that ending the
Uh-oh. Okay.
What happened?
You froze.
Oh, you just froze up for a second. It's all good.
It's because I'm preaching.
Yeah.
But it's just okay. So you get solid and you get strong in yourself, but there's always the circus still around you. So once you get strong within yourself, and then you got to deal with the circus, and it's balancing the circus is when you feel, and it takes forever. Enlightenment hurts, and no one really tells us that. I forgot to mention, Troy, that Shannon is a Reiki master. Wait, level 2?
Yeah.
Level 2 Reiki? Level 2. Yeah.
Oh,
He works well on
How
planes, by the way.
long have you been doing Reiki? How long have you been doing that for, Shannon?
This December will be 2 years.
Oh, cool.
He really does a good
Almost.
distance. He does a great distance Reiki, so
Okay,
FYI.
good.
I do great Reiki on menstrual too.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally believe that. Aww. Really? You came to America to have that? That's great.
Hey, but Reiki helps that.
Heck yes, it does.
Yeah.
Reiki helps everything, man. So
I love it. I had an experience, I think it was last year, April of 2016, my first ever Reiki session. My mom came with me. We actually had appointments back to back. Anyway, during my Reiki session, I sound like a broken record because I say this story all the time. But
that's a good story.
yeah. Like when well, first of all, like I had, like when she was doing like the scan over my body, I think she was scanning me. At least that's what it felt like. Like my third eye, she said I had like thousands of messages trying to come through my third eye, but she said it wasn't blocked. It was just kind of like kind of muddled or whatever, and like I could remember physically, like with my eyes closed, I mean I could physically see like the light swirling around and doing all this weird stuff. And when she was scanning, I can't remember, I think she was scanning over my solar plexus, but she said that the Archangel Saint Michael came through, and she saw him like trying to hand me his sword, like the sword of protection or whatever, and I was not accepting it because I wasn't ready to. And then another archangel appeared, was I believe it was Archangel Azrael. I think is that what it is? The angel of death?
I think so,
Azrael?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So I mean, like for you, I was going to ask you, like, so during a Reiki session, I mean, is that like a common thing to happen? Like, does that like can like deceased loved ones come through, or I mean, is it just like I mean, have you had any experiences like that, like where like certain messages come through from a specific like source or anything?
No, not for me. I mean, for me, Reiki was really more of a part of healing for me.
Oh, right.
I mean, I don't really I don't perform Reiki on a lot of people. Like I've played with it with my 6-year-old to just kind of, when she's in a bad mood,
chill her out,
calm her down. And then I've messed with Yanni a little bit, and then I've done a few planes. But
yes, he's really good at planes. I would have never made it to Colorado.
I've never done like as a practice on other people.
Thank you,
Good
buddy.
job.
Here,
Okay,
bring it
okay.
over here. It's okay. Nobody can see you. Stevie's scared he's going to get on camera. Run! Oh,
Well,
you know what
that's
Stevie
funny.
said? I forgot to tell you, Shannon. I told
No.
Stevie, I was like, you remember my friend Shannon? We're gonna be on live tonight. Oh, you mean Elvis's brother?
Yeah.
I thought that was so cute. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It was funny.
No, you're fine.
Well, that's funny.
Sorry.
I was gonna tell him real quick too that when me and my friend Roxy, and I think it was back in January when we were driving out to Colorado. I want to say it was January. I don't know if it was that March, but my check engine light came on my Trailblazer, and we driving through Iowa. It was probably after. It was real late in the morning, probably 1 or 2 in the morning. I can't remember the time, but the check engine light came on, and I had my friend Roxy text Dana to let her know what was going on, and she said she was going to perform Reiki on my Trailblazer, and it's like literally not even 5 minutes later, or not even 10 minutes later, the check engine light went off. So that was pretty remarkable.
It just doesn't work for my bank account, but I can pretty much Reiki anything, you know. And like you said, I started studying Reiki resume of things, services, right? But honestly, at the end of, I have a Reiki master's, a couple years now. It was about healing me, honestly. It wasn't really ever about healing. It worked for me better than it worked. But I mean, I can do really good things, and it's fun. And there's nothing greater that I can't, help a lot of people. I can't spend a lot of time with a lot of people, but I sure can send some energy, and it's good karma. So I recommend anyone who's trying to heal themselves to learn Reiki. I don't particularly like the way it's taught in America, but if healing is healing, I don't care how you use it for yourself. If nothing else, it's inexpensive therapy, really, to me. And I'm glad I got to learn it because it's kind of fun. I can blow some stuff up sometimes too. Just not my bank account. Dang it, it's not working.
Yeah.
Comment.
Shannon, that's
Comment.
interesting how when you do the Reiki, you're doing it for yourself, like healing for yourself. And I've recently took up doing chakra wisdom tarot cards, doing like some readings from friends, and
He's
just
really
kind of having fun with
good.
it for now. And the thing is, I totally can resonate with what you're saying. Like you're getting healing from it, mainly for yourself. And I kind of feel the same thing when I'm doing these cards. Is like I'm getting like some soul capital out of it. It's like it's testing my intuition, and I'm benefiting from it spiritually more than anything, because I've had a couple people offer to pay me, and I just said, oh, I'm doing it because I'm practicing, or I'm trying to work on myself as well. And so that's really interesting that you mentioned that. And I wanted to kind of ask you more about like the type of work you do right now with people. How long have you been doing that? Like is it like a coaching service you do, correct?
Yeah,
For the ego.
I've been doing that maybe 2 years now. About
Mm-hmm.
2 years now. Because again,
Okay.
that's something else I waited on, or it wasn't really that I waited on it. It was more that it came to me that it was really my purpose, and that really starts back with something I went through in 2008. And at that point, I learned so much about trauma and PTSD and CPTSD that it ruled my life. So I had to, and not necessarily, well, going through the PTSD ruled it, but learning to heal from the PTSD that I was facing became so intriguing that that's all I focused on, was understanding the PTSD to the point that I could use the understanding of it to then start fixing myself from it. Again, like for me, I think the key to every single thing in this world, the first thing is, or 2 words, is mindful awareness. When you can become mindful and aware to your feelings and what's happening up here, that is going to be the #1 showstopper for a lot of things.
Absolutely.
Because that's where you're going to be able to stop and change what.
Are you allowed to discuss that situation?
What, the PTSD part?
Or what? The one that started your life? Well, you have many. Sorry, but to me, the most significant is what you used to do for a living and what happened. I don't know if you can discuss that or not.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No? I think that's a very...
Yeah.
Do you mind?
Yeah, I mean, that was really, I've learned in hindsight, everything happens for a reason, right? It's that specific incident happened to prepare me basically for the main awakening,
The main event.
Yeah, for what was going to actually trigger that main push.
Yeah.
But because like I said, in 2012, when I was first starting to change and see a different illusion and start seeing that there was a different world out there, that came from changing the way my mind was thinking about things. Instead of being the victim of a false arrest and losing my career, I started thinking what my part was in that and what I need to do to change that, because no one else is going to do it. If I don't do it, no one else is going to do it.
It was a significant lesson for you.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, being manipulated and narcissism is enough all by itself in my eyes. And then you add, did you tell them what you used to do for a living? Because I'm dealing with some idiots posting right now. But can I tell them what you used to do?
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
Shannon's been in the Army. Yeah. Okay, he's a vet, and Shannon also used to be a police officer. And I guess during 2008, that's when that happened. He was working off duty as a nightclub bouncer, and I don't
actually, I wasn't working off duty. I was just there.
No, well, your family owned that.
Not my family.
Your ex-family owned that. So anyway, it's just, okay, so he was a part of the law enforcement, but he was off duty. And anyway, eventually he went to, did you actually go to trial?
No. It was all dropped after I resigned.
That's good. Okay, but that's enough. That's enough to go in through in one lifetime, in my eyes. And then you add the cherry on the top. I can't wait for you to write a book. And do you tell these stories on YouTube?
I don't tell I don't really focus on my actual story. I focus on the ways to more or less help people understand what they've went through, because many people don't understand what they went through.
No, they they don't. It's terrible.
And for me, when you try to understand a narcissist relationship, you're trying to heal. Most relationships that end, most people get closure. Most people, it's a mutual thing as to how it ended or what happened or however it went down. But when you're dealing with a cluster B or a narcissist or any of those people, you're not going to get any of those things. And when people have to understand or are trying to understand, one of the biggest things is they don't take into from the eyes of the narcissist, viewing from the perception of the narcissist.
Exactly.
Because when you're able to understand the mind and how they function, then you can start understanding more on the whys and how it all happened.
Right. It's perception.
But until you're able to understand what makes them click, what makes them do what they do, that's when you start understanding why they did the things that they did to you.
And they're never going to hear or understand or even reason with you about it. So it is up to you solely. Absolutely. So what do you do with people when you're coaching?
Guide.
I mean, you've hit me a couple times with some childhood trauma business, and I took it way, way far. But you're right, you know. And if someone strikes a chord in you, okay, if someone just upsets you, it is you. It's you got to do that. They're not going to change, and it's really hard to keep. It's a full-time job.
Right.
It is a full-time job. So, what do you have business hours? No.
I schedule it whenever I'm available and when they're available, and I flow with whoever. Whenever.
Do you still have your lawn service, or?
It's there, but it's slowly going.
Yeah.
I mean, we're into gemstones now. We're into organic, organic silk sheets, bedding.
What?
Yeah, that's.
Well, tell us. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I haven't even had time to look at her stuff. I haven't. I mean, really, I've just like been in a cave. So I don't really know what's going on. So
that's the AsiaDeluxe.store. And then we got like these I don't know. But this is a tiger eye.
Ooh.
This is her tiger.
I like that.
Oh, see, that's what we want to see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I see that on Yanni's page. Okay, that's what you guys are doing?
Yeah.
Really? How fun. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, so you're doing silk sheets? I know.
Yeah.
I love those. So, so tell me how you're doing that. Tell me about that.
We just started it, so we've pretty much just been trying to do it online.
Is it stuff you just go and try to buy, or do you guys make it? Or, I mean, we haven't even told everybody where Yanni's from yet, so we got to do that, I guess.
Well, that's where we get all the gemstones and the jewelry is in Indonesia.
Wow.
Where she's from, it's known as Diamond City. So
really?
Yeah.
This is fabulous. Oh, I didn't know. So we're gonna post this in the Namaste Today page in a little bit. So do you want to go ahead and tell everybody what you sell? Because they're gonna watch this, and how do where do you order and all that good stuff?
It's organic silk bedding sheets.
Okay.
Then we got the gemstones. Nice. We don't have a lot of gemstones posted on our website yet because we're kind of still going through the stock. There's Amethyst. You probably know the names.
Malachite. And then,
Malachite?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you speak. I love your language. It's so cute. She's so cute.
No, I want to get her up.
And then we have pearls.
Pearls.
Yes. Cool.
Amethyst, tiger eyes.
Yeah.
Malachite.
Oh, tiger eyes.
I love tiger eye.
Me too.
Oni.
Okay. See my tacky look? It's got a tiger eye and pink stuff. I love it. Yes, it's fun. Well, I didn't know this. This is fun.
Yeah.
What was it?
And then I sent you a picture of the Buddha statues that I had, the black ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember.
Oh, I do. I didn't know that was yours.
Those were actually carved out of volcanic rock from the hospital.
Ooh, nice.
Man, I totally
Wow.
missed this. Oh
Well, they're in my
God.
bag. They're in my bag in
Re-
Indonesia.
The
So,
that lost bag. That
but
lost
Can you
bag.
can you show us the bracelet again, Shannon? I want to take another look at that. Your bracelet.
yeah, this one's mine.
Dude,
Wow.
I didn't know. I'm so excited. Oh, I
This is
love
like
those.
14 millimeter bead.
Wow. I'm gonna have to get myself one of those.
Yes,
Yeah,
Definitely.
yes.
That's
Yeah, oh
that's
my
nice.
God.
the tiger eye. But and then outside of that,
Dude.
it's just trying to focus on coaching because we got a lot of work to do ahead of
Yes,
us
sir.
with our journey. Like, you
Oh
know,
yeah, what do
the,
y'all do? Yeah, tell us about your journey. Yes.
the coming together was really just the beginning,
Mhm.
and now we get to do the hard stuff. So,
Make it. How long does she? Are you staying here forever or what? What's your? Tell me about.
not on this trip.
Not on this trip.
Not
So
yet. Not yet. Well, I don't know yet. You know, we're not that far. We don't go that far into the future. So.
No, I know, but I know you, Mr. Aries, and there's two Aries sitting right there. So I can just imagine what y'all are building, honestly. So you're just getting all the stuff worked out and everything, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Can you guys tell us a little bit about like what am I trying to say? About where she's from and stuff? About her background a little bit, her like can you tell us about her religious stuff? Maybe her faith,
Yeah, your faith, your religious.
faith walk.
This is where the twin flame sandpaper comes in, talking about the.
Yeah, but it's so. Yeah, but it works.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
works. It works, and it's a great story. Yes.
It's not about religion stuff, I guess, because me and Shannon has a like totally a Christian before I really become myself.
Mhm.
So Shannon is really different than me. He never he not into religion at all. So he is really spiritual and awakening stuff. And when the first time I met him, it was like when I really enjoying expressing myself because I really like to write. I was writing poems, and then I was into a poet community, and I saw Shannon at that moment, and I feel like his poster was talking with me.
Mm.
And then at the moment, I don't know, like when the first time I saw him, it is like I keep seeing him every time.
It's so
And
cute.
then, huh?
It's so cute. I love it. I'm sorry. That is so cute. I love this story. Sorry.
So when he post poster and I decide to texting him to ask his permission to make an answer to his I thought it was a poem. So I text him and I said that I want to make an answer to that posting, and he said yes, and that was the first time we start talking each other, and never stop.
Oh. I met.
That was almost 18 months ago.
I know. I was gonna say, before I escaped from Seattle, Troy, is when I met Shannon. On
Oh,
my
okay.
yeah, before my cross country trips from Washington to Florida. Oh God, because my sister's like, "Hey, you need to meet Shannon," you know, because his mom lived here. I don't know, families. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I remember all of this. It's so cool. So now you guys like are selling sheets and furniture and stuff.
Yeah.
It's unreal. Are you guys working with any other groups anywhere?
In Indonesia, I working. My father own bedding company, or it's like mattresses. Mattresses in Indonesia and
Wow.
sofa. So my family, all of like I only have one brother, and he also have his own company for mattresses and sofa. And I try to build my own company there about bedding shield. It is it. So I'm
Yes.
trying to get my business there to be here now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
So yeah, we could definitely help share your message. Um, we need to add Yanni to our club. I don't, it's kind of our club's kind of weird, but we're a good bunch of weird. And do you guys work with any big companies out there like we do, like with Serious Joy? I can talk.
No, because we're just now getting those products over here.
Right.
Mhm.
So like that, like it's all just started. I mean, like like we
Wow.
started 18 months ago, like talking every day.
Right. Yeah.
And
This is like.
and there were times where it was like meeting was never, like we
Gonna
thought that
happen.
was probably in this lifetime impossible because
I
of
know.
the distance. And
Mhm.
but each time, and then 6 months would go by, or a year, or whatever it would be. And then finally, and this is a big message I have for people in life, not necessarily just with Twin Flames, or it's with everything. If your heart is in it and your heart is pulling you, it doesn't matter what you have going on right now. You need to take your stuff and go for what your heart is taking you to.
That's right.
No matter what you're doing in life. And I did that. And you talk about facing your fears, getting on a plane, walking away from your lawn business that created a weekly paycheck so that you could pay a bill after bill after bill each week, walking away to go fly across the world to meet the person your heart is taking you to, I don't even know if that's facing your fears. I don't even know what that is.
That's following your destiny, dude.
It,
Oh
Yeah, following your
God.
heart.
it's like
Following your heart.
it's like you have to not be scared to jump. And I know for a fact so many people would come up with an excuse to not go
Right.
or
Mhm.
to not do it.
Right.
And even me, I did for a long a
Oh my
6-year-old
goodness.
or whatever. Well, then it got to the point where I'm either gonna jump or I'm probably just gonna crash completely with everything, because I won't be doing what I'm supposed to do. And I knew
Well,
going is what I was supposed to do. And
a couple
with
months ago, it got kind of scary for you. Is this kind of just like your whole life was turning around?
yeah, well, and it's still,
Financially and everything, just great.
yeah, well, I mean, and it's still financially. I mean, for me, because I don't put my burdens onto her. I
Of
mean,
course not.
I'm still having to like figure my way out of the financial world.
And you've done what you're supposed to do when no one was looking. So I promise you it's coming. I mean, I know a lot about you, Shannon, and I don't care. You've done what you're supposed to. You've done the best you can with the tools you have, and I'm very proud of you. So
Yeah, well, I
truly,
appreciate that.
I know,
You know that.
and I'm glad to be facing my own fears with this camera with you guys.
Yeah.
Truly. So,
You're doing great.
again, yeah, thank you. We can get together in the future, maybe like behind a paywall, because I really want you to tell your story in the future. But we're not trying to slander, and we're not trying to be negative. But honestly, it's when you tell your stories, it's when people connect with us the most. And again, we're not trying to cause harm. So but they need to hear you. So,
Yeah.
you know, and I really appreciate this. This has been good. How long have we been going? Oh,
Oh, yeah,
okay. All
about
right.
an hour,
Cool.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
we
haven't
went
been
a
paying
little over.
attention.
Okay. Well, yeah, people get aggravated with me when I go too long with stuff, but this was the first time, and we can edit it a little bit, and we'll put it on YouTube, and we'll share it with the club. This is just our first time, and we do have a lot of support, and I couldn't be more grateful. Truly, I'm very. I don't know. This is something else, something I never thought I'd be doing. It's a trip.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Hey,
so
never thought I'd be flying 18 hours, 25 hours either across the
well,
world.
both of y'all told me you were gonna do things, and both of y'all done exactly what you said you were gonna do. Both of you. Now it's my turn, and that's all, universe. Hello, let's do it.
You'll
Okay,
do it.
my turn. My turn's next. Truly.
You'll do it.
Anyway, if there's anything that we can do to help y'all spread your message, if there's anything we can do to help, we'll share your stuff. I don't go on Facebook that much anymore because I'm not comfortable on Facebook as much, but I'm big time on Twitter. I can share your stuff on Twitter. Also, this is me and Troy's little hobby together. Troy's my business twin flame, I call him. But and we work together because we have our own mission, but we have our separate missions as well. It's cool. So what was I even going with that? I just totally lost my train of thought. Help me out, people. Oh my God. So
No, it's fine.
Lord have
Yeah, go ahead.
mercy. God bless America. I just totally. Anyway, somebody take over. I totally just went blank. Oh my God.
No, it's fine. But yeah, we'll definitely get your links put up on the pages, and I think a lot of people are really gonna like those bracelets. Like I was instantly drawn to those bracelets. Like
You should have
I
seen.
absolutely
If
have
you
to get
didn't see his eyes, they got about that big.
I'll
one.
watch the
So,
because I can only see these little squares right now.
Oh really? Yeah.
oh,
I love this software. It worked very well this evening. I like it very much. I truly was.
Yeah.
Oh, Shannon, this is what I wanted to say. So Troy and I would like to do this. We'll see how my little chaotic life kind of gets in the way of things. But Troy and I really want to start like doing interviews on Saturday nights around midnight. So if you think of anyone that we could promote or anything like that, anything that we could do to help spread messages and kind of unite the light, that's what we're trying to do with SBI. We all have to work together. We can't do this separately. So if there's
I got some guys that I'm getting ready to do some collaborating with, and
we'll be glad to.
Their stuff because we're actually working together as men to start like spreading our messages together. But the things that we're putting together, we're working together on. All three of them.
Anytime you want to use this, because like I said when we started, there's not many men who really are exposing their vulnerability to the world, and it's our job as women to help support you do that too. So absolutely, and Troy's all about it. So
these guys, they're and the four of us putting this together. We all four come from four different backgrounds, four different perceptions, but we have one goal, and
yeah, we work for the same team.
And that's what so we're getting ready to start doing a lot of work together. A lot of stuff that'll mainly all be on YouTube. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we have YouTube, and we'll link up with that. So definitely.
We're still
Troy, would you?
Name.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah, that's the hard part. Troy, you want to do a little serious joy pitch before we get off of here?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. Like a shout out for Serious Joy, or
yeah.
Well, what I could do is just tell people if it's a subscription service for Christopher Witecki. He's a psychic astrology coach, and his work is basically his forte is readings. He's very good with past life. And the subscription service is basically a daily service where you get text messages and get some feedback.
I thought it was
That's
me.
hard.
I'm like, ah!
No, but it's SeriousJoy.tv, and it's $3.99 for the first month. It's a subscription service. You get daily text messages of basically kind of life coaching, evolving and coming into your own feelings and your spirituality. And so I'll be posting links for that too. Oh, there you go, Dana. She's got that's kind of what the app looks like. It's a website app. And how the software works is it's basically based on your birth information, your natal chart. So all the information, all the content is for you specifically because it's based on your A and B story, which your A story is your sun sign, what the story you're in now, and then your B story is kind of what we're striving to be.
What you're trying to become.
But,
and
yeah, it's very subtle.
like you said, we come from totally different platforms here, and it doesn't matter even if you don't even believe in astrology. I've spent thousands of dollars on a psychiatric couch, like a therapist couch. That $20 a month done more for me than the thousands and thousands of dollars I used in therapy, regardless of whether you believe in astrology. You know what I mean? Healing is healing. It doesn't even matter. We're all on the same team. There's all the same God. We're all going to the same place. We all have the same message. Just we got to get there, and we're gonna have to do it together. That's all.
And I do want to touch on that point too about that everyone has the same message, because we all do have the same message, but at the same time we deliver it in different ways. Like you could say one person could say a message, second person can say a message, but the third person, everyone resonates differently with how people pass along that message. We perceive and we receive differently, and just because, like, say Shannon might have a message to tell somebody, it may not resonate with them right away, but like say then Dana might have the message and then they'll get it, so
and it's the same message.
Even though it's the same message, it's how the individual perceives it and how they resonate and how it's being delivered. But yeah, we're definitely all on the same team here.
Definitely.
And somebody's actually asking a question. Where are we from?
Oh, be careful. We got some haters out there.
Oh, it's
just
okay.
Be careful.
I like the ones that hate.
Well,
I hope
the last time I looked on there, your mom said you can delete them later. I was like, okay, I'm going back to work. They always show up, and it's okay. We're always gonna have haters because you know what? This is for the work of the good. And if you're going to hate on it, how about it? There's nothing we can do about that. That's the truth.
A lot of the work that I do is because I want them to put those mad faces up. That's
right.
And I want them to express exactly what they think of themselves in the open and go ahead and get it out. The more they
more ugly.
They're ugly, then they're showing
then it's gone.
What they're thinking inside of themselves. So it's good for them to get that out.
And who, again, I hate to go back to astrology, but who you are as a human being and who some of us are, we just automatically tick people off. And so
we take egos off. That's what we
Yes, we do. But what I learned from you, no one messes with you. You are and honestly, Aries go first. Y'all go out there like you're set on fire. And, so we're following behind you. You've been doing this for a minute. I've been the big chicken in the closet being quiet. So we're following you. That's why I wanted you and Yanni, because you both are Aries and you guys are leading the way. So you're doing the king and queen thing mission. I love it. And a lot of people, that's what they want. That's what really everybody wants, really.
We hope we can make our part in it. So
You guys are adorable. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you, Shannon. My God, it's
hey,
just you to me, your family. I mean, we're from the swamp. You know, we come a long way, sir. We
yeah,
have. So, we're gonna definitely share all your stuff in the club. This is a really long video. Everybody's gonna be fussing about how long it is, but I don't care. They don't have to watch it. It was good for me, and I'm so glad we got to finally do it.
yeah,
So, and we're gonna share all your stuff.
yeah. Because
Okay.
we got a whole lot more we could talk about. So.
I know, but we can just do
Oh,
this
yeah.
again. You know.
I love to
So,
talk.
huh?
Yeah,
I love to
this is
talk,
kind of like just like an
I know.
introduction.
and
I
it's
know.
like
That's why I chose you first.
it's like my there's a thing out there where your body is, or a chart that shows what type of personality and stuff that you are. For me, I'm not one that just goes and pushes my message on people, but if someone asks,
It's on.
I can go all day into the depths.
Yes, sir. Me too.
So
Absolutely.
it's just a matter
Yeah.
of what you want to know. So.
Right. Right. But we'll go ahead and log off, but we'll do this again, truly. I really enjoyed this so much. I could truly keep talking to you, but I seem to can't keep my attention. I think it went out the window. It's hilarious. Forgive me.
All right.
This I'm facing
That's
my
all
fears
good.
here too. So it's all good. All right.
More and
It was
more.
a pleasure,
Thank you
Yanni.
very much, Shannon.
Yeah.
I'm so glad
Nice
I got to
meeting
have
you.
this experience with you. Your mom's going to be watching in the morning, by the way.
Oh, damn.
Just saying. Yeah.
Oh,
So, all right. Well, we'll keep in touch, y'all. Okay.
all right.
And good luck with everything.
All
And we'll
right.
see you again very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. I didn't die.
All right, thanks, Shannon.
Yay! Have a great night,
Bye,
y'all.
Yanni.
Bye-bye.
Nice meeting you,
Namaste.
Yanni.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Take care, guys.
That's right. All right. How do we get off here?
Bye.
Bye.
So,
Are we
okay,
done?
we're still live, Dana. So, yeah, so I just want to thank everyone, whoever watches. I mean, this is just the beginning, our first interview with Shannon. And it was more of like an introduction, kind of,
For all
face
of
the
it.
fear. Yeah, and I mean, I know I've been kind of comfortable with this idea of, doing this, but, you know, broadcasting live, with no scripts or anything like that, it can be a little, it's a little nerve-wracking. And I totally get it with Christopher, like how how it takes a lot of energy and a lot of focus to pull it off.
Yes,
and-
absolutely.
But
And,
it's good though, because we totally kind of did like an improv with that. We had an idea of where we wanted to go with the interview, or just with the video in general. And it's kind of hard to, because when there's so much to talk about, it's kind of difficult sometimes to stay focused on one particular subject, because there's so much to get out.
right.
But
Right.
I think it was very successful. I liked it, and
I liked
I
it.
certainly-
We can get better. Nobody has to watch until we get better.
okay, that's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have to show up, and I don't want to ever regret not trying something. So if it don't work, it don't work. But that was very nice. That was a lot better than I ever expected. And I feel comfortable with Shannon and you, and I think that really helped too. So
Yeah, and with Shannon too, it's kind of interesting because he looks so familiar. Like, I've seen his profile before on Facebook, but like when I look at him like live, he looks kind of like my uncle, and then he kind of looks like a guy I used to work with mixed into one. Like,
he looks like your
it's
family.
really, what's that?
He looks like
I'm
your
sorry.
family.
He does, yeah.
Yes,
And I thought
absolutely.
that was really. So
Yeah.
I really like him, and I look forward to many more interviews and topics with him, because
good. I'm glad y'all got to meet, because I really wanted you to get to know him. So yeah, he has a lot to offer. He's been through hell.
oh yeah, you can tell, like, he's definitely like, I just could feel that energy with him, that he's like ready to kind of like get the ball rolling, and then this collaboration that's going on with him and his buddies, like the four guys getting together.
Gosh.
And how
We've been
important
talking
is
about
that?
that forever. I know we've been
Yeah.
talking about this forever, so I'm sure you can join them too. And Shannon's on
It'd be
Team No
interesting.
Fear,
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's hard for
Yeah,
us
and
to
that's
find.
and that's the main. And what Shannon was touching home on is like the main ingredient is no fear. I mean, because that's ultimately what prevents us from moving forward or taking action, and nothing is going to happen unless you take action. I mean,
And
you can
nothing's
sit
going to
there and
change
say,
unless you move.
yeah,
Yes, I totally. I don't know. I've watched him coach people just on Facebook, with comments, and yeah, and it's really good and better. It works better than therapy for some people. You got to hit in the spot. So, all right, Troy
absolutely.
boy. Well, this I didn't die from this experience, so I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, and I'm very grateful that the technology did not fail us, because
Finally, my goodness, this has been a long haul.
I'm very happy for that. So
okay, so we'll start doing interviews on if time allows. We have plenty of people on our club to do. I'm gonna let Christopher handle the big people, because I'm not ready. He's got to do the big people.
Yeah,
we can have all of our people here, so definitely.
And that's good. That's kind of happening too, like with the whole Friday Live. We're gonna be
I have a list for him. I have a list for him, a big list of big people. I can't do. I'm not ready, so that's good. Okay.
Yeah. And then
I appreciate you. Okay.
Oh, I was just gonna say there's a couple people I have on my list too that to talk about, which we've talked about in the past, but now it's actually getting to the point where it's happening. So
I am available every Saturday night, so I've got my schedule down. I'm only doing readings Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. until whenever, because I stay up all night anyway. And then on the Sunday, on the weekends, I do my little live show Monday through Thursday until I get better with the camera. And then on the weekends, I spend dissecting charts, because I love to do that, so I get my work done. So anybody want to interview on Saturday nights at midnight is fun, because everybody else is asleep. I like that.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah. And then it goes on YouTube, and then it goes on Twitter, which I don't have any problem with there. So anyway, yeah, we'll get a list.
I don't think.
So.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
I didn't know if you were going to continue. Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm pretty busy during the week too, Monday through Friday, and I'm actually, what I'm doing, it's actually kind of 7 days a week, because I'm always checking on support on the customer service to make sure things, because someone might have a billing or technical question that needs to be solved, and but it's
you
fun.
never
It
know
keeps
with
me busy.
software. Well, and it's you get to take care of yourself though. It's a big deal.
That's true.
So that's good. All right, dude. I need some coffee.
Yeah,
I
actually,
need to bring a thermos.
my throat's a little dry. So
I know. I'm
this
closing up
was
too.
great.
All right.
So,
I will talk to
thank
you later. All right.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you soon. All right. Have a good night. Peace out.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Well, now that everyone is gone, I will say good night and thank you everyone for joining us. We'll be seeing you next Saturday. Namaste.